Hare Krishna. Today we will be exploring a very special language. Now, what is this language? Is this the language which I am speaking in, or is this the language which we get to hear in our daily lives? No, none of them, because all these languages are actually products of cultural diversities, geographical diversities, use of colloquial terms, and so on. But the language which I am referring to here is of divine origin. It's called Apaurushaya, which means not man-made. So from this we can get a clear hint that we are talking about that language. It's none other than Sanskrit itself. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sanskrit is derived from the word Sanskritam, which means elegant, flawless, perfect and refined. Now all these terms are actually doing justice to the language itself. How? Because Sanskrit is called the language of the elites. It is a language of the great poets like Kalidasa, Bharavi, Bhavabhuti and so on. Now the scriptures poetically say that they were exhaled by God himself, just as fire emits smoke spontaneously. The very first use of Sanskrit is found in Rig Veda Samhita, and there's a debate about it. The Western scholars estimated this text to be more than 3,500 years old, and traditional Indian scholars claimed this text to be eternal, that is, it has no beginningless. It is believed that the rishis did not independently compose the Vedas, but they only gave a verbal form to the divine perception of the knowledge that was created by God himself. The rishis were called the seers of mantras because they used to possess some divine powers like Divya Drishti. That is why the rishis were so different from us, and that is why the rishis are called rishis, the great rishis. Now all this is based on history, which is a controversial point, but we need to find out with the help of a practical example if Sanskrit is eternal or not. Now Sanskrit has many seed sounds, and by different combinations of these seed sounds we get 33,000 root sounds, and approximately it is seen that 2,000 root sounds give rise to 300 million words. Now we can now imagine 33,000 root sounds can give rise to how many words. Thus Sanskrit is the only language in the world that has capability to produce a large number of words from a single root sound. This makes the Sanskrit language Ananta, that is, it has no end, eternal. Now we need to figure out if Sanskrit is scientific or not. Now if we consider the root sound Jal, it is used to denote water in English. We get 28 words from Jal, such as Jalam, Jalati and so on. When we consider the root sound Jal, it actually means to stiffen or to solidify, and we already know that one of the properties of water is to solidify from its liquid state. Thus this language is rightfully called the language of awareness. When we speak about an object or something like that, we actually get to know about the object, the properties of the object. We get aware about the object. Now we need to know if Sanskrit language is meaningful or not. If we consider English language, this is called hand. This is called eye. Now if we ask the question why this is called hand and why not eye, there cannot be any answer, any meaningful answer. But if we ask in case of Sanskrit language that why it is called Jal, for example for water, then we can get a specific answer. Now let's get into another example here. There are certain words such as foundation, which is called pratishtha in Sanskrit. Place is called sthanam. Now, if we consider the root sound, which is tha, it actually means immovability. Now, if we observe closely, a place cannot be moved. It is constant. Similarly, a pillar, a foundation, these are rigid structures. So, we can conclude from here that Sanskrit is a very meaningful language. Sanskrit is also a magical language. How? If we go into the time of our creation of the universe, the great universe, we can see the universe was created by a huge explosion, and to our surprise we will find that the first sound vibration from that explosion was of Om, which is the seed sound of Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is not an average language for communicating with people and all that, but it's a language connecting us with the cosmos. It's a language of the gods, the divine language. Now Sanskrit is recognized all over the world. How? If we look into the statistics, the Indians go to mainly foreign countries for higher education, such as Germany, and while going there they pursue a 6 months German course for surviving in that country regarding study period. Now there are certain countries such as UK, Ireland, Russia, Poland and Germany which are adept at learning Sanskrit. They have a vast collection of our Sanskrit books. And not only that, there is another statistics that in 1985, a NASA scientist, Rick Briggs, had published a research paper claiming that the best language to interact with artificial intelligence is none other than Sanskrit. Thus, Sanskrit is one of the most enchanting languages of the world, and we should be proud of our own Sanatan Dharma, the eternal Dharma, and the eternal language of it, which is Sanskrit. And please let me know what you feel about Sanskrit in the comment section. Hare Krishna.